So here's an interesting question. It's basically calculating or trying to figure out what you might need on an exam in order to obtain a particular grade that you are interested in. So it's kind of like a current grade calculation or a final grade calculation with respect to weighted averages. So in a math course, you have been given a breakdown. So you have kind of assignments, and then you have tests and an exam, and then they tell you how much each of them is worth. You know the grades maybe that you have received. So let's say you have all your assignments done, your tests are done, and then your exam is coming up. Now it says that as you head into the exam, you wonder what grade you need in order to have an overall average of 85%. So that's a common good question to ask yourself. Like how much do I have to study? How much should I push myself? Is it even possible to try to obtain the grade that I would like to have? So calculate and round to the whole number. Okay, so we'll do that. And then what does your answer tell you about the possibility of obtaining an 85% in the course? Well, I guess we have to find out what that exam mark has to be in order to get this 85. So it is a weighted average type of problem. And so for that reason, okay, so I'm going to the information is given. So I'm not going to rewrite these givens for myself, so I do know that what all the weights are. So these are my weights, okay, that I am carrying. And then here are my grades. So maybe what I'll do is, first, just beside, all right, so this assignment number 1, for instance, is 5%. This second one is 10%. This third one is 10%. So those are the weights that I carry. Test 1 is 20%. Test number 2 is also 20%. Test number 3 is 10%. And then this final exam is 25%. And I'm trying to figure out what this exam mark is supposed to be. So, well, let's give it a go. So if you like, and you want to be kind to your teachers, you can just define what you're looking for. So I guess I'll put G for grade. So let G be the grade on the exam. Okay, so that's the needed grade that we will want to have. Now, how do these weighted averages work? Well, weighted averages is always a division. Now, if you've forgotten about weighted averages, maybe I'll put up a link up above there. I kind of talk about the discussion between simple and weighted averages. And for this one, so what I'm going to do is, I do know what my final grade is here, right? So my overall average is supposed to be 85%. That's what I want to obtain. So if I know that I need an 85% average, then this is supposed to be equal to the sum of all the weighted averages divided by the total weight. Now the total weight in this case, because I am actually, let's see this, yeah, so it adds up to 100. So my total weight is all the different weights. So the first thing that I'll do is, I can calculate. So that first assignment, so it was 5% times 76% plus, okay, so now my second assignment, okay, I'm going to fill that out. So it's going to be 10 times 69 plus, I guess, 10 times 82 plus 20 times 85 plus 20 times 73 plus 10 times 90, and maybe I'll shift this over a little bit just so that I have some space. And then the last one is your exam, right? So you're supposed to be summing up the weighted averages. So now I don't know what my grade on the exam is. So that's my G that I'm going to have to solve for. So this whole thing is being divided by, and it's dividing by all the weights, right? Which is 5 plus 10 plus, so on, all the way up to your exam, 25. The denominator is going to be equal to 100 because I guess we're dealing with the final grade. Now, I want to be able to solve for this G. All right, so I'm going to simplify this whole thing. So I'm going to have 85. I'll drop the percent. Okay, so we have, So let me take, so all of this, okay, let's figure out what that would be. I'm gonna take out the calculator here on the side. Okay, so 5 times 76 plus 10 times 69, so that's 690 actually that I can do, plus 10 times 82, so that's 820, plus, all right, this one, 20 times 85, I'll let the calculator do that. Then it's 20 times 73 and plus 10 times 90, so that's a 900. Okay, so that's the top. So let me write that down for us. 5950 plus 25G. The denominator here, because when you're adding all of these up, this is going to be equal to 100. So now I have this new, which is much simplified equation. So let me get rid of this. So this 100, I can multiply both sides by 100. And if I multiply both sides, so this one's going to be that. This 100 is going to be gone. And that's going to be right there. I can shift this over to this other side right here. So it's going to be minus. So that means it's going to be 8500 minus 5950 as you're solving. So 2550 equals 225G. Now dividing by 25 on both sides, I'll know what grade is actually needed here. So this divided by 25, now I get 102. Now don't forget I did everything in percent. So this, what this is telling me is that I need 102% on my exam just to get an 85% average. So is that possible? I mean, unless the teacher gives you some bonuses, maybe on the exam, which probably was unlikely, but who knows, then it means, well, I mean, I guess technically this is not going to be possible. So we're not going to be able to get an average of 85%. You know, because if the maximum grade is 100%, let's say on the exam, that means, well, A, you have to get a perfect score, which probably is going to be hard on its own. And even if you do get a perfect score, it may get you close to 85, but you know, you won't actually obtain the full 85%. So you have to kind of be careful unless you start rounding things off. Now, this process is a really good process that I find every student should know how to calculate their averages. And so few people actually are capable of doing that. So this is an example of how you can come about and solve. Now, if my grade was less than 100, then that means it's doable, right? And then you can just kind of check. Let's say if it was 75%, I mean, it wouldn't be in this case because I'm shooting for 85. But let's say if it was, then that means, okay, well, that's more or less what I need on the exam, or maybe on your final test or project or something, to obtain the grade that I desire. All right, so I hope that this is useful and you've learned something from it, okay? So cheers, everybody. Bye.